Hello students, welcome to our new session of subject Science Part 1, lesson number 8, Metallurgy. In today's session, we are covering the following topics. Number 1, extraction of moderately reactive metals, extraction of less reactive metals, refining of metals, corrosion of metals, methods to prevent corrosion. Students, you know that in the reactivity series of metals, metals are arranged in their decreasing order of reactivity. Thus, they can be divided into three groups: highly reactive metals, moderately reactive metals, and less reactive metals. Now you know that metallurgy is the branch of science which teaches us about the extraction of metals from their ores and their purification. You have already studied about the extraction of highly reactive metals. Now, in this session, we are going to study the extraction of moderately reactive metals. At first, what are moderately reactive metals? The metals in the middle of the reactivity series, such as iron, zinc, lead, copper, are moderately reactive metals. In which form do the moderately reactive metals occur in nature? The moderately reactive metals occur in the form of their sulfide salts or in the form of their carbonates. Actually, it is easier to obtain metals from their oxides rather than their sulfides and carbonates. And therefore, the sulfide and carbonate ores are first transformed into their oxides. This transformation is done by two processes. The first is roasting and second is calcination. At first, roasting, the process of heating an ore to a high temperature in excess of air and converting it into its oxides is called as roasting. In this process, sulfide ore is taken and sulfur dioxide gas, that is SO2 gas, is given out. The chemical reaction is zinc sulfide. When heated in excess of air, we get zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide gas. The equation of this reaction is 2ZnS plus 3O2 gives 2ZnO plus 2SO2. After that, calcination. In this process, carbonates are strongly heated in a limited supply of air to transform them into their oxides. This process is known as the calcination. Now, in this process, zinc carbonate is reduced to zinc oxide and carbon dioxide gas. That is, in this process, CO2 gas is given out and the chemical equation of this reaction is ZnCO3 gives ZnO plus CO2. The zinc oxide so obtained is reduced to zinc by using suitable reductant such as carbon. The equation of this reaction is ZnO plus C gives Zn plus CO. CO, that is carbon monoxide gas, is given out in this process. ZnO is reduced to Zn, that is zinc is obtained. Apart from carbon, some reactive metals such as sodium, calcium, aluminium are also used as reducing agent because these reactive metals easily replace the moderately reactive metals from their compounds. For example, manganese dioxide, when ignited with aluminium powder, it is reduced to manganese and large amount of heat is evolved in this process. The chemical equation of this process is 3MnO2 plus 4Al gives 3Mn plus 2Al2O3 plus heat. That is, MnO2 manganese dioxide reduces to manganese and a large amount of heat is evolved in this process. So, the substance which undergoes reduction is manganese dioxide and the substance which undergoes oxidation is aluminium. Another similar example is the Thermit reaction. In this reaction, iron oxide reacts with aluminium to form iron and aluminium oxide. The chemical equation is Fe2O3, that is iron oxide, plus aluminium 2Al gives 2Fe plus Al2O3 plus heat. Here also the heat is evolved in large amount. In both the processes, the heat evolved is so large that the metal obtained is in the molten state. Extraction of less reactive metals. The metals at the bottom of the reactivity series of metals are less reactive metals. Due to less reactivity, these metals are found in free state in nature. For example, gold, silver, platinum. But the reserves of copper in free state are very few and therefore it is mainly found in the form of cuprous sulfide, that is Cu2s. Now in the process of obtaining copper from cuprous sulfide, it is just heated in air and cuprous oxide is formed in this process. Cuprous oxide is then reduced to copper in the presence of ore. The chemical equations are 2Cu2s plus 3O2 gives 2Cu2O plus 2SO2. Here cuprous sulfide is heated in the presence of air and we get cuprous oxide and sulfur dioxide gas is given out. Again, the cuprous oxide which is obtained in the process is again heated in the presence of same ore, that is cuprous sulfide, and we get 6Cu plus SO2. Then refining of metals. The metals obtained by chemical reduction are not very pure. These metals contain impurities and these impurities need to be separate to obtain pure metals. For that, electrolysis process is used and a pure metal is obtained from impure metal. This process is known as refining. Now, corrosion of metals. At first, what is meant by corrosion? Corrosion is the degradation of a material due to reaction with its environment. For example, old iron, copper, silver articles get corroded by the reaction of various substances present in the environment. Now, you know rusting of iron. Iron articles gets rusted because iron reacts with moist air and a deposit of reddish substance, that is Fe2O3.H2O, is formed on it. This substance is known as rust. Again, carbon dioxide present in the moist air reacts with the surface of copper vessel. Now copper loses its luster due to the formation of greenish layer of copper carbonate. It means that carbon dioxide reacts with copper and copper carbonate is formed and which is green in color. Thus, CuCO3 is formed on the surface of copper vessels, and this process is known as patination of copper. Then third example is of silver articles. On exposure to air, silver articles turn blackish after some time. This is because of the layer of silver sulfide, that is Ag2S, formed by the reaction of silver with hydrogen sulfide in air. Silver reacts with hydrogen sulfide and Ag2S, that is silver sulfide, is formed, which is black in color, and therefore we can see the blackish layer on the silver articles after some time. And next example is oxidation of aluminium. When aluminium reacts with air, a thin layer of aluminium oxide is formed on it, which is also black in color. These are the examples of corrosion of metals. Now, in the given pictures, you can see some corroded metals. This is the silver vessel, which is blackened after some time due to the layer of silver sulfide formed on it. Then this is the Statue of Liberty. You can see here it is made up of copper, and it has turned green after some time. Then this is the example of rusting of iron. Now, prevention of corrosion. Various methods are used to protect metals from their corrosion. We can lower the rate of the process of rusting of iron. Corrosion of metals can be stopped by keeping metals isolated from a direct contact with air. The prevention of corrosion can be achieved by various ways, and some of these methods are given as: number 1, to fix a layer of some substance on the metal surface so that the contact of the metal with moisture and oxygen in the air is prevented and no reaction would occur between them. The second way is to prevent corrosion of metals by applying a layer of paint, oil, grease or varnish on their surface. For example, corrosion of iron can be prevented by this method. To prevent rusting of iron windows and iron doors in the houses, they are painted so that they do not rust. And corrosion can be prevented by putting a layer of non-corrodible metal on a corrodible method. This can be done in many ways, and these ways are galvanizing, tinning, anodization, electroplating, alloying, etc. Now the first method is galvanizing. In this method, a thin layer of zinc is applied to prevent corrosion of iron or steel. For example, shining iron nails, pins, etc. In this method, corrosion of zinc occurs first because zinc is more electropositive than iron. After a few rainy seasons, the zinc layer goes away and the inner iron gets exposed, and then iron starts rusting. This is the picture of galvanizing process. These are some steps which are done while doing the galvanizing. Then the second method is tinning. In this method, a layer of molten tin is deposited on metals. We call this as kalai. A greenish layer forms on the surface of a copper or brass vessel. This greenish layer is poisonous. If buttermilk or curry is placed in such a vessel, it gets spoiled. Tinning is done to prevent all such damages. The third method is anodization. In this method, metals like copper, aluminium are coated with a thin and strong layer of their oxides by means of electrolysis process. For this, the copper or aluminium article is used as anode. As this oxide layer is strong and uniform all over the surface, it is useful for the further corrosion of it is useful for the prevention of the further corrosion of the metal. See, this is the picture of anodization. When aluminium is anodized, the thin layer of aluminium oxide is formed, and this layer of aluminium oxide obstructs the contact of aluminium with oxygen and water, and this prevents further oxidation of the aluminium metal. This protection can be increased also by making the oxide layer thicker during the process of anodization. Then the next process is electroplating. In this process, a less reactive metal is coated on a more reactive metal by the process of electrolysis. For example, silver plated spoons, gold plated ornaments are the examples of electroplating. Here, some ornaments which are made up of copper are plated with gold. Gold is less reactive metal than copper, and hence the layer of gold is given on these ornaments. Or silver ornaments are also plated with gold metal, and some spoons are plated with silver. Thus, the less reactive metal is coated on a more reactive metal. This is the diagram of electroplating. The next process is alloying. Since metals has the tendency of corroding, the metals used in present days are used in the form of alloys. The main intention behind this is to decrease the intensity of corrosion of metals. The homogeneous mixture formed by mixing a metal with other metals or non-metals in certain proportion is called as alloy. There are many examples of alloy. The first example is of bronze. Bronze is made of 90% of copper and 10% of tin, and this alloy is not affected by sun and rain. Thus, the corrosion of copper is prevented. The second example is of stainless steel. Stainless steel is made of 74% of iron, 18% of chromium and 8% of carbon. It does not get stains with air or water and also does not rust. Now, the various types of alloys are used for minting coins. Alloys are used to decrease the intensity of corrosion of metals. These are some coins which are made from various alloys. Now some questions are there. Question number 1. Why do pure gold and platinum always glitter? The answer is pure gold and platinum are noble metals. These metals do not react with moisture, oxygen and carbon dioxide gas present in the air. Also, these metals do not have any effect of acids and alkalis on them, and hence these metals always glitter. The next question, What is done to prevent rusting of iron windows and iron doors of your houses? Now, iron windows and doors are painted so that the direct contact of iron is prevented with air, and thus the rusting of iron is stopped. The third question, can we permanently prevent the rusting of an iron article by applying a layer of paint on its surface? And the answer is no, we can't. It is suitable for only short time. If there is a scratch on the paint on a surface of the article, that part undergoes rusting and the process of rusting starts. Next question. Why do new iron sheets appear shiny? Because the layer of non-corrosionable metal is fixed on it, and therefore these iron sheets appear shiny. Then give reason. Lemon or tamarind is used for cleaning copper vessels turned greenish. Answer. Copper undergoes oxidation in air to form black copper oxide. Copper oxide reacts with carbon dioxide present in air to form green colored copper carbonate. The citric and tartaric acid present in lemon and tamarind dissolves this green colored copper carbonate, and the copper utensils thus made shiny again. Hence, lemon or tamarind is used for cleaning copper vessels. Homework. Explain the different methods to prevent corrosion of metals. Write the methods of preventing rusting of iron. Distinguish between roasting and calcination. What is an alloy? Give two examples of it with their chemical composition. Solve the exercise given below the lesson. Thank you.